Hey there, and welcome to the January 2023 update for the Dallas-Fort Worth, North Texas housing market. I'm Chase Hansen, your DFW Realtor. Every month I'm here unpacking what it's really like for home buyers and sellers out there today. Not based on headlines and hot takes, but what me and my team are actually seeing, working with clients every day, and what we're hearing from the real estate professionals we connect with throughout the area. Not only that, but I'll break down the numbers looking at one of the top factors influencing the housing market, where it's at, where it's going, so you can be informed as a consumer in the marketplace. Happy New Year, everybody. It's officially 2023. After the last year of crazy ups and downs of the real estate market, I'm so relieved to see 2022 in the rear view mirror. And if you watched our 2023 market predictions video, you'll know that my team is actually pretty encouraged by the outlooks for this year. We think it'll be a steadier, healthier housing market than we've seen recently. So if you want to know what we think is happening this year, or if you just want to see what it's like when my mom and I are trying not to talk over each other, go check that out. All right, let's get into it and start with the news on the ground. This is the part of the update where I give you the on-the-ground report of what it's like to be a buyer or seller in today's market, what you can expect if you're out there today. The holidays are always a really slow time for the housing market. I'd say if you can ever avoid having your house on the market between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I recommend holding to the new year because there's just a lot less buyer activity during the holidays. Not to mention how the mortgage interest rates had gone up significantly in the months leading up to December. It was just a really slow time. Now things are already starting to look different as we transition into January. I'll tell you what I mean by that. Break it down with buyers and sellers like I normally do. Buyers are already returning to the market. It's kind of like going to the gym, getting home projects done. A lot of people just want to wait till the new year to start new things. So there's the pent-up demand of the holidays, and now mortgage rates have dropped week after week for the last month, something I'll talk about more in our stats section later. So owning a house has gotten cheaper over the holidays, and home prices are at their lowest point of the year. So if you're one of those buyers who's decided now is the time, first of all, that's great. It's actually a good time to start looking for ones. But my number one piece of advice before you get out there is to build your buying team first. That means realtor and lender to start. Here's why I say that. There's an art and science to contracts and negotiations. And if you go out there bright-eyed thinking it'll be a breeze with whoever, that's just not the case. Buyers have more negotiating power than they did in 2021 and the beginning of 22, but they don't have all the power. You need a professional who can help you strategize because there's now two types of sellers in the market. Last year's holdovers and new listings. And those will be two very different negotiations. Not only that, but researching pricing right now is really complicated because of the way the market has shifted. You need an agent who knows how to navigate those numbers so you can handle things like appraisals and not end up in a sticky situation. My summary for buyers, you've got lower costs, negotiating room, and more options, but the process of getting a house under contract and getting the contract to the finish line is more complicated in this transitionary market. So you need help, and the sooner you start those conversations, the better positioned you'll be. Again, I'd love to help you with that. My contact info is in the description. Now for sellers. The reason I spend extra time on buyers is because those dynamics impact selling conditions too. More buyers entering the market with better mortgage conditions should lubricate the system and get houses moving again. We've already seen showings start back on houses in the week after Christmas, and as things open up, I expect days on market to slowly start dropping over the course of the year. I would still set your expectations for about a month on the market, but more buyers means more demand. This is where it's super important to price your home for our current market, not last summer's market. Your house's marketing, price, and accessibility to potential buyers are going to be really important to not sit too long and get the strongest offers possible. Here's my caution for sellers. Houses don't sell themselves in this market. Have an agent you trust to get it done and someone who understands negotiations enough not to give up ground you don't need to, because buyers can get greedy when they know it's slower to sell, and a good agent representing you can help you walk that line of getting the deal through without throwing you under the bus. I'd be happy to help you on that end as well. Again, my contact info is in the channel and description. Let's talk. That's the news on the ground. Hit the thumbs up if you're glad mortgage rates are easing up and the market's starting to move again. Now let's talk about that a bit deeper. This is our Nerd Corner, where I dive into the trends, statistics, and news stories that are important for understanding the market. Let's unpack the mortgage interest rate situation. So last fall, interest rates peaked at over 7%. Mortgage rates are important because they impact the cost of owning a house. Higher interest rates mean higher monthly payments, and you qualify for a less expensive house because your debt to income load changes. In short, higher mortgage rates hurt. As I've explained in previous updates and our 2023 predictions video, those rates have been rising because the Federal Reserve has been trying to force them up with federal rate hikes. The good news is that mortgage rates have been dropping for the last month and should keep dropping. Now, why is that? The inflation numbers for October and November have been improving. The December numbers are expected to improve as well, and that has led the 10-year Treasury yield curve to level out and the mortgage rates to fall as they've had an abnormally large gap above the 10-year yield. That's the really technical stuff, I know. I just share that to let you know the gears are turning in the right direction behind the scenes. Here's what matters for you and me. Typical mortgage rates have been well below 7% the last few weeks and have been inching closer and closer to 6%. That alone has made it hundreds of dollars a month cheaper to own a house for people getting new mortgages. Here's what Redfin's researchers are saying. They say we expect a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage rates to gradually decline to around 5.8% by the end of the year, with the average 2023 homebuyers rate sitting at about 6.1%. What does that mean for affordability? So if a buyer has a monthly budget of $2,500, they can afford a $383,750 home with a 6.5% mortgage rate. That same buyer could afford a $406,250 home with a 5.8% rate. That's keeping the same monthly payments. Or you're getting the same $383,000 house for $150 less per month. That's the direction we prefer things to go. Drop a like if you want housing to be more affordable in our market, if you think that would be good news. And check out the 2023 predictions video for more about mortgage rates and what we expect from home prices this year in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Thanks for watching. My name is Chase Hansen. I'm a real estate agent serving buyers and sellers in the DFW and North Texas area. If you or someone you know are looking to move this year, I would love to be the agent that gets you where you're trying to go. You can email me at chasehansen@remax.net. Find more info on my channel. Connect with me on Instagram at Hansen Realtors DFW for more great content. Be sure to subscribe, like, and check out the other videos on my channel. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.